Welcome to
Breaking Free from the Box podcast.
I'm Quila.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Shamika.
I'm Valencia.
I'm Sharon.
I'm Ronnie, and we are the founders of the Martavius Horton Foundation.
September 25th, 2023, my oldest son, Martavius Horton, died by suicide. Martavius was 21 years young at that time. There are a lot of things that we could say he was struggling with, such as sickle cell pain, things not going right, showing up for others more than you show up for yourself, not feeling supported by friends or family, conflict within himself. But here's the thing, we don't know, and it didn't look that way. Young men and young adults often struggle alone and are forced to put on the facade that everything is okay when it's not. True feelings and emotional turmoil are hidden behind a smile and the need to fit into everyday life and commitments, either to themselves or to other people, while their true feelings and struggles never surface or even reach a conversation for others to hear or help. That emotional turmoil can lead to their thoughts overtaking their minds, and unfortunately, death by suicide. It's time to normalize the conversation and get out of the feeling of feeling trapped in the moment. So, let's start the conversation.
I ain't gonna lie, it was definitely tough. I didn't want to do the panel because I wanted, one, a male presence to represent this time, because I feel like I'm always on the forefront, and we need to get that diversity in there. So when I looked around the room, their room, we weren't there. We weren't represented. We weren't present. There was me, Ronnie, and one other young lady of color. And they kept asking me to do it, and I didn't want to, tell them no after showing up. And then when I looked around the room, I'm like, we need some women of color, for one, and people of color to talk about suicide and to represent our community. So I made myself get up and join him on the panel, next to him on the panel. But it was awakening that people are listening. And that's one thing that me and Ronnie got out of it yesterday. Like, when we tell these stories, people are actually listening to what it is like 2 years after losing Tay, how we're coping and how we're adjusting our life and picking up the pieces and moving on and just keep going from where we were 2 years ago. And two things stood out in this audience. Something Ronnie said, something I said. With him, let him expand on his point, but it was being in a moment, which we're going to talk about today. And then two, for me, it was a different point of view that people don't think about, and that, the question was, what is your biggest struggle since losing your son? And it was like, my response was juggling, trying to balance grieving one child while you still have to mother 4 more kids, and understand that I lost a son, but they also lost a brother. And then how do you, like for me, overcome the fear of revisiting this again, making sure none of my other children see suicide as a way out, that we normalize the conversation, but open the door for the conversation.
So we don't never necessarily put on our refrigerators and stuff like that. Like we went to the ASPCA last year, we did the walk. Not ASP.
That's it.
Okay.
Americans, yeah.
Got to talk about the pet thing.
So, but
I keep those numbers and those magnets on the fridge because you never know. So if they may not say it, but if they thinking it, at least they can look on the refrigerator and be like, maybe I should get this a call.
Yeah. They not gonna tell
No, normally we'd be like, I don't need that on my refrigerator. Ain't nobody. Yeah,
I got two,
you need
one
it.
on this side, one on
I got them.
this side.
Look, I just stuck them all over. I was actually going through the bag the other day, and I got all kind of. I should have brought them. I got so many wristbands and all this stuff from there.
Or say the number.
It was a lot of them.
Say the number
Yeah.
of the kids' phone. You
Yeah.
never know.
It's just race. That's like that awareness piece.
Yeah.
You don't know what you don't know.
My thing about just being in the moment is just that you don't shy away from what you feel, what you want to say, just being honest in that moment and being able to be real with people who are around you, regardless of maybe how they feel about it, because it's about you and what you're feeling in that moment. So being authentic in what that means. If you want to cry in that moment, go ahead and cry. Don't feel like I got to hold it in just because y'all are watching right now, or I'm not used to y'all being around, so now let me keep this in. And like I told them, it's like having a little pebble. Every time you keep throwing that pebble, eventually it's going to be a big pile, it's going to be a rock. And that rock's going to turn into a boulder. And then somebody's going to lash out and get the blowback from when that boulder starts going downhill, because so much has been pressed down. So we have to stay in the moment. We have to speak up. We have to talk about it. We can't sit here and try to appease others knowing that it's hurting us in the long run. So be in your truth, wherever it is. If it's in the car, if it's your office, if it's walking, whatever it is. If you need to cry, yell, scream, just get it out so you can move forward. Because the more you press down, somebody's going to get that overall overwhelming blast of when they just say that one little thing that ticks you off, or that one little motion that pushes you over the top. Is like, it wasn't you, but your action is what tipped this over to cause you to get the reaction.
You brought back memories. When I did my scream, I got pulled over by the police afterwards. What's wrong with you? I said, I don't know, I'm just going through life. He said, well, I'm just going to give you a warning. And then he said, I hope that they do that. I was like releasing my screams. I was in the car by myself. It was time.
Yeah.
And I was just bawling and crying and stuff. And he pulled me over. I was flying up down the street. And he pulled me over. He was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? It was an old man. I think I scared him. But yeah, that relief was good. And I told the cop I was still screaming and crying, talking to him. I didn't know what was wrong.
I think we're built like that. Our environments are conducive to survival mechanisms, and sometimes that is you just take it, and hopefully it gets better, and you really never have the opportunity to release. And
It's like a big breath.
it's almost like they say that that's strength, but I don't think that that's being strong when you can take so much and you just continue to suppress it and suppress it and suppress it. And it comes out to other people as, oh wow, they're so strong. I wish I had your strength, but I think that's unhealthy,
Me too, agree. I'm one that I think your greatest strength is also your greatest weakness. And a lot of times we just don't know how to navigate that in the correct space of what that means. I think of just the stereotypes that men and women go through. I think me and Sharon talk about, if you look at the board, it's like a 5-1. But I shouldn't be like, see, it's 5 men. Let me, like, no, I'm a voice mind. It doesn't mean that anything I say is wrong, but it is saying, like, I'm putting my opinion out there, and then let's look at it objectively. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure on women, and what I said even yesterday, there's a bond that a mother can never have with a child that a man would never have. Because y'all are mothers, y'all birthed them. Y'all know the trials and tribulations you went through from finding out all the way up until birth. I can never say I will ever know what that feels like. But for me, I said, a man's different if you're in that space in their life, is that all about the first haircut, the first time you picked up a basketball, the first time you threw a football, the first time you rode a bike and fell. Like, I still remember telling you now on Bar Drive, falling in the grass and scraping himself a little bit, and then finally when he got it, I got it. So there's a lot of firsts that men and women look at that you don't know when it's going even with a child, but even just every day. Like, women have to face life, and you're supposed to be the nurturer on every single thing. But men are taught that you can't be weak, you got to provide, you got to do this, and you can't say how you feel. You can't speak on this. And then the stereotypes are still there as far as, say, for what they put out there as far as what women say. Well, I want someone who's going to be real and honest and everything, but then get a man that's going to be real and honest who can take it. And how can you ask for what you really can't receive? So there's a lot of growth on both sides that we always have to look at. And I think just like we're talking about, breaking free from the box. Can we really take what we're asking? And are we built to be able to hold and handle when we get it? Take into account how everyone felt when the child was in elementary. If anything happened at school, we were there. You watch them walk down the street, you can see them. You watch at the bus stop, you can see them. Middle school, okay, you got a little freedom. Okay, it's what you do. You go here, it's fine. We know once they get in school, they're probably on the hallway. But middle school, we're still on. You get your homework. Got it? Okay, let me check it. Okay, it's good. High school, okay, well, you're in high school now. You should get it by now. I shouldn't have to tell you. You're going to be grown soon. So now, all this plays in the head that I'm supposed to figure this out right now myself. I don't have that same cloak and love that I had from elementary, which they should. But a lot of times we still don't give them that same love all the way through, so they'll know that I'm here every step of the way.
That's what I had to tell somebody earlier.
Because even as an adult, when you fall, you still kind of need that, even as an adult. A lot of them know. Because I'm being honest, I'm guilty of it. Very guilty of it. Because I go through struggles, but I don't say nothing to nobody. I keep quiet. I do what I got to do. I stay to myself. I'm going to figure it out. But it's just so, I don't even know how to word it right. But, we get to this point where, because we see people around us who go through things, and a lot of times you don't be burdens to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And so what it is, you're like, I'm going through this, but they got their own problems too. So let me not be their burden. We so willing to help each other, help other people out, that we suffer in silence on our own because we don't want to be that burden. Or we may feel like, sometimes it happens in the black community. Somebody might reach out for help. Man, every time you turn around, we got to help so-and-so. Every time you got to turn around, this person needs this person, and you don't want to be that person that everybody talks about. So that falls my line.
And I got to say something on this, and I'm just so my sister is my sounding board so much to the point to where I call her to get advice on the cookies that I bought. I'm like, you think I should get this kind of cookie or that kind of cookie? So something just as small as cookies, I call for, advice. And we were laughing about it, but just imagine when I'm going through something really, really big, when I made the bad business decision, or when you're leaving the one career and going to another career. So I'm very grateful that I have my sisters, multiple sisters, as a sounding board. But I think the other piece that we could include in this issue that we're having is like just really helping our children from the time you bring them home from the hospital, telling them and helping them to establish that you are in your own lane. And you can redefine your life as many times as you want. You can redefine what you want to do, what you need to do as many times as you need. There's no cookie-cut way to success. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's linear. Sometimes it's curves in the road. But just with life in general, you mentioned that, you kind of mentioned that I'm not here by 25, or I hadn't done this by this age, or, I think we have to start having those tough conversations that it is okay. You don't have to have life figured out by the time you walk across the stage. How many people have gone to college and got a degree in something and they're working in a totally different field? Or they started in the field and realized that I started teaching. I did it for 2 years. It wasn't. We're telling the principal that
a job at least 3 times within their lifespan. And that's okay. It is okay. It's okay not to have a house at 30. It's okay not to be married at 30. Like just all of this stuff that we feel like we need to have.
We need to push more
That's because of social
individualized.
media.
That's what I'm talking about.
What you call a societal norm.
Yeah, they're looking too
That's
much
what you have to
into social
redefine,
media.
societal norms. Because your norm is not my norm.
And that's what we need to remind them. is
Yeah.
That you need to create your own path and walk your own path with your own shoes and not
That's what I
according to
keep
somebody
trying to
else's
tell
lifestyle.
Like like Quita said, with social media, because you get these social media, I see them all the time. If you're 25 years old, if you're not doing this, then you're missing out on this.
Yeah.
If you're this age and you're this and you're not doing this, or you got all these. But the thing is, and I realize what they do to get there. And then you really pay, and you pay more attention to it. Those who have it, you have more influencers now who are committing suicide and losing their lives to all this stuff because it's not all of it. It's choked up to be because they're not getting it the way
Because of the audience.
they're not really putting in the work for it, and they're going through so much stress to help maintain these lifestyles that they really ain't got it the way they're saying that they have.
It's reality.
I think Quita just made a powerful statement.
It's about the audience.
Being able to handle, what someone else is saying, whether it's good or
They
bad,
can't-
whether you need to address
they can't
everything
handle
that's out there. Like, when you put yourself out there in social media, you're putting yourself out there for the world.
That's
Nothing is
right.
private no more. And I think
That's why you have to be selective on what you put out there.
or just getting out there.
Like, I'm
you can
in
be
social
private.
media, but my
Or
personal life
the reason why you're putting it out there, is it for validation? Are you looking for people to validate you, and then when you don't get their validation, then you're feeling a certain way? So what's your reason behind sharing that content? Because like I said, it's okay to do it, but if you're doing it for, the likes, and then you don't get the likes, then what is it
Yeah, and
indicative
it's so
of?
many people like that. They are doing it for the likes, and they don't get the likes, so it tears them down. And what they do, they keep uploading. They still don't get the likes, but on the inside, they feel like, man, what is they doing that I'm not doing?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
But that goes back to what she was saying, staying in your own lane. See, you're trying to figure out what
Yeah.
somebody else is doing to their false sense of reality, because you don't know what they're doing to upkeep their lifestyle, even if it's a real lifestyle.
AI these days, everything be fake. I'm just
I don't trust nothing no
And
more.
basically, a lot of lives these days are living green screens because they putting up this. They putting up a persona, so it's everything is not what you may think it is.
A lot of times, what folks really don't get deep on is the why. Like we said, like we just sit here talking about the likes and trying to get some more clickbait, but why? Like, what causes you internally, and you really have to search inside and figure out what that why is.
That's
You just,
right.
oh, it's this. It's like, why are you really searching? What happened? I'm saying, but
Can I
what
say what
specifically
Quilla
happened?
just said? Quilla just said that people are so square. But here's the thing.
But social media,
But what's wrong with being square?
nothing. I
And
told
then
my
why
son,
do we have
Mark is
to
cool.
label that people as
Yeah.
being square? The thing is, how do I help somebody else get this same self-awareness? Not saying that I have it all. I'm not saying I have all the knowledge. But how do I help somebody else get the same self-awareness and the same self-acceptance to where we're not turning to social media for life, or we're not disappointed when things don't turn out the way we want to in life? We're not contemplating doing any harm to ourselves or anyone else because things are not going our way. Like, how do we share that?
I feel like you can talk to a person a million times, but they feel the way they feel. I talk to my son all the time, but I still don't see
But the
it.
thing is, it's not that they're not hearing it.
I know they hear it.
No,
I'm saying they still.
You're a mother.
Oh.
That's your job to tell him. So it's not that he's not hearing it, but it's not coming.
You didn't let me finish. So you
It's not-
can get to
it's
that
not-
point.
It's not coming from who
Right.
it's not coming from who he wants it to come from.
To a degree. A lot of times, kids are around influence more than they are structure. And I say, if you look at the time they get up and leave for school, by the time they get home, if they're not sitting around the table where, hey, don't put on no TV until you do your homework, but they get to go
Like
to their
it
room.
used to be.
Or they can go on the video game. Hey, man, yeah, let's go and get on the game. So that influence is what drives him. Now, I look at even our household and dynamic, looking at all five, and we still got the same foundation and structure we try to instill in them, but then I'm looking at 5 different personalities in the house.
Very different.
from Tay to Miriam. Miriam's my more emotional. She's probably gonna care more about what
I
folks saying
love
and what's
Mary
going
so
on.
much.
Kaylee could care less about what somebody's saying.
That's me.
Riley's the hybrid middle child.
Yeah, she's
She'll
like
care a
that,
little
the
bit,
hybrid.
but then when it's time for her to get away,
Okay,
like,
whatever.
my child is gonna go over here. But it's still under the same rules and foundation. And for us as parents, think of the stigmas that's been passed down. Because if you know what your grandmama passed down, what your parents passed down, what you see and that you want to pass down to a new age generation who is in front of technology, in front of social media influence, that's a lot. Because you're trying to manage what I've been told now. I'm the third generation.
That's right.
I'm trying to manage to the fourth, but now I got all these other parameters out
That's
there
right.
that was never there when we were coming
And
up. We didn't have to worry about it.
sometimes we can't relate. We try to, but we just cannot relate. We honestly, these kids are they're exposed to so much more. You know.
Well, that's why I let them talk. When she didn't want to come in, and
Yeah, let her come.
and as soon as we get through talking, okay, AGT, what's that thing? But then
Right.
I also said, they can't keep it. Let me look it up.
So you don't know what's going on.
But the point is to let them feel comfortable
get it
enough
out. That's
to share. Because if you kind of let them be comfortable enough just to share how their day went.
Right.
When you ask them, hey, how's your day today? Let me tell you, Mama, it ain't gonna be. It was okay. It's fine.
That sound like
And even in that conversation, you may pick up a little nugget.
You
Like
do.
mental
Always.
note, like, you know, you may
Always.
pick it up.
Now, she said, and I'll come back and I'll ask them, so is this person in school? I just need to know. But you're right, you find out who friends are, who friends are not, and you can remember, hey, last time you said you and so were going to have a birthday party thing going on, and then now you're saying y'all not talking. So what's the disconnect here? You know, you kind of pick up on that, or just terminology they may be saying. They said, she said, you like, I need to know.
Yeah, that would sound like me and my comrade.
But that kind of brings, you're analyzing their conversation with you, but at the same time, you're welcoming to make them feel comfortable to share. That way, when something does happen, they know at least they can, like sometimes my kids will start to tell me something.
Can't stop.
No, they just don't know how to continue it. It's not like I want to stop or I don't want to tell you. It's like I'm going to tell you this part. I really don't know what else to say. But it's like it's something bothering me, but all the words I can get together are these words. And so that's when you kind of jump in as a parent, exactly. To pull stuff
That's
out,
what I do.
and you recall prior conversation, but you have opened the door by listening to nonsense last week, and now that something does happen, they don't feel like they got to go back to a friend and talk to you or talk to somebody, but they feel like, last time Mama was wanting to listen and she didn't really say anything. I'm gonna try this again, and I'm trying to tell her that something ain't going right.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to say it, but that's when you just start to peel the layers back.
There are so many silent life struggles that can lead young adults to feeling like they are trapped in the moment of not knowing how to break free of suicidal thoughts. For our young adults, as it was stated in our episode, struggles are a normal part of life. There are so many obstacles in life that can pile up on us all at one time. But it is how we handle them, one at a time, that can help us bring an end to suicidal thoughts and find other ways of dealing with our emotions and break free of the box. This series of our podcast is about learning what to do when you feel like you have no way out of the pain, no way out of the stress, the struggles of life. So, next time you're feeling overwhelmed with life and everything in it, take a second to list out everything that's causing you to feel so stressed and rank them. Then tackle them one at a time, starting with the least difficult. You've just removed one barrier and got one step closer to breaking free of the box. So, like, follow, and subscribe to our channel so that you can be one of the first to join us as we talk about part 2 of being trapped in the moment.